Good morning, Oklahoma, and welcome to Cow-Calf Corner. I'm Mark Johnson, and this week's topic is that tough environments call for tough cows. That's the topic of our Ranchers Lunchtime series on April 6th, the day I got the opportunity to interview James Henderson from Bradley 3R Ranch in Memphis, Texas. It was an interesting conversation that day, and it has a lot of bearing on where we're at right now in this business as we've dealt with prolonged drought. In Oklahoma, we've liquidated a lot of cows, and a lot of us are going to be repopulating with cows at some point in the future. And so that opportunity to talk to James Henderson provided a lot of insight into what they do at Bradley 3 Ranch, and in particular, when asked why they go about their selection process the way they do, he said most of their bull buying customers are running cows in that same kind of environment, and it makes sense for them to hold their cows accountable to adapting to that environment the way they do. The way he described the environment, I would categorize as follows. First, those cows have got to be capable of dealing with extreme variation in temperatures. In a typical year, they run from -10 to 123 degrees Fahrenheit. Those cows have to get a long ways to water, and the water that they've got smells bad and tastes bad, as James describes it, and is high in nitrates and high in sulfates. We've got an environment there with a lot of noxious weeds and poisonous plants. We've got an environment that is overrun with predators that those cows have to be able to adapt to. And so, as we look at that part of the world in a production environment where about 600 cows are running on about 16,000 acres, the kind of cow that he described that works for them, or the standards that they hold those cows to, is described as follows. Basically, it takes an athletic type of cow that can cover large and long distances in order to get enough forage and actually get to water. It takes a cow that is not overly big. He says that their average Angus mature weight is about 1,195 pounds. The average Charolais cow is weighing close to 1,400 pounds. But in either case, in either breed, if we take a look at those Angus cows, those cows are bringing in a calf each year and weaning off over 50% of that mature weight. So we're still looking at 600-pound calves coming off those cows that aren't weighing quite 1,200 themselves. The mature size in the Charolais herds closer to 1,400. Said those cows will wean off about 48 to 50%, and again are expected to wean off a calf every year. They average an 86% calf crop weaned. They compare that to a national average of about 78%. And James said that the key to getting those cows to function in that environment and be capable of handling that environment is to hold them accountable, let a little bit of natural selection take place so that only the cows that are capable of dealing with all that and avoiding the poisonous plants and surviving on that water source are going to be the ones that manage to wean a calf and get bred for you in that 365-day window every year. As we move forward, and a lot of us think about taking on inventory and repopulating cow herds, run your ranching operation like a business, hold those cows accountable, make sure that they fit your production environment, whatever that may be, and that they've got the genetics to fit your marketing endpoint. And again, Mr. Henderson brought up that they do that at Bradley 3 Ranch because that's the environment that most of those bull customers are going to expect their cows to survive in as well. I think there's an important message there on holding cows accountable and making sure that they fit our production environment. As I always say, I hope this helps. There's a lot of points to consider there. You can actually visit the website on the screen and look at that interview with James Henderson, as well as the entire Ranchers Lunchtime series in dealing with dry conditions. Thanks for joining us this week on Cow-Calf Corner.